Every single time you flip a switch, there's this incredible, complex web of infrastructure working behind the scenes. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the giants weaving that web, Adani Energy Solutions. Their latest update gives us a really fascinating look at what the future of power is going to look like for millions and millions of people. So, to really get a handle on the world Adani Energy operates in, you've got to start with this number right here, 350 million. That's the sheer number of people connected to the wider Adani infrastructure platform. It is a massive ecosystem. And energy, well, that's one of the most critical parts of it all. And that huge user base is served by this sprawling group of interconnected companies, which, you can really think of as the Adani universe. It's a footprint that stretches across the entire nation, touching almost every part of India's infrastructure. This whole universe is really built on the pillars of a modern economy. You've got energy, transport, logistics, and all the essential materials. We're talking ports, airports, power lines, mines, the whole shebang. It's a strategy that's been built over decades, embedding these services right into the fabric of the country. But we're not going to try to cover that entire universe today. No way. Instead, we're going to zoom right in on the lifewire that powers it all, energy. So let's put Adani Energy Solutions, or AESL for short, under the microscope. What do they actually do? And maybe more importantly, why does their performance matter to so many people? Well, in a nutshell, they're one of India's biggest private utility companies. They're basically responsible for the entire journey of an electron, all the way from the power plant through this massive network, right to the plug in your wall for over 13 million consumers. Okay, so think of it in 3 simple steps. First, you've got transmission. This is all about building these massive energy highways that move huge amounts of power across states. Then there's distribution. These are like the local roads that take that power and deliver it to our homes and businesses. And finally, you've got smart metering, which is all about modernizing that final connection to make it way more efficient and reliable. All right, so we get what they do. Now let's take a look at how they're doing. And their latest quarterly results, well, they show some serious growth in action. It was a really busy quarter for them. They added 190 circuit kilometers to their transmission network. That's like building a whole new energy artery. They made their Mumbai network even more efficient, which means less power goes to waste. Industrial demand in Mundra just shot up, and they locked in major new contracts for smart meters. Each one of these points tells a story about a company that's expanding its reach and getting ready for the future, all at the same time. But what does that growth actually look like when you put some numbers to it? Let's get into the data and see how this all stacks up. First, let's look at those energy highways. The total length of their transmission lines, and we measure that in circuit kilometers, which accounts for all the multiple wires on a tower, jumped by over 3,000 in just 1 year. That is a huge leap in the physical size of the grid. And a longer grid is only useful if it can actually carry more power, right? And that's where capacity comes in. The system's ability to handle electricity jumped by nearly 40% in a single year. So the grid isn't just getting bigger, it's getting a whole lot stronger. Now, here's a number that looks small but is actually a huge deal: efficiency. In Mumbai, they managed to cut down the amount of power that gets lost during distribution. That 0.5% improvement might not sound like much, but when you spread that across a city of millions, it's like finding enough wasted energy to power thousands of extra homes. It's now one of the most efficient networks in the entire country. So who's using all this power in a megacity like Mumbai? This chart breaks it down perfectly. Nearly half of it is going to homes, just like yours and mine. Businesses and offices take up the next biggest slice, and knowing this user mix is absolutely crucial for keeping the lights on for everyone. But then you shift your focus to the industrial powerhouse of Mundra, and you see this number, a 55% surge in power sold to industry. That is not just a big number for an energy company, it's a powerful signal that factories are humming, production is up, and the economic engine is running hot. All this strong performance isn't just about looking back on a good quarter. It's really about building the foundation for what's coming next. And they have a massive pipeline of projects designed to create the grid of the future. So, what's the endgame here? It's really captured in their ambition to be the supplier of choice. And this isn't just about providing reliable power anymore. It's about giving over 13 million consumers the option for cleaner, greener energy. That's a huge strategic shift. And they are absolutely putting their money where their mouth is. Right now, they have over 7,000 kilometers of new transmission lines under construction. To put that into perspective for you, that's like building a power line from Delhi to London. And the total investment? Over 60,000 crore rupees. This is a massive bet on the future of India's energy needs. And listen, it's not just about bigger lines, it's about a smarter grid. They have contracts in place to install nearly 25 million smart meters. Now, this isn't just a new meter on the side of your house, it's a two-way communication device that makes the grid more efficient, helps pinpoint outages way faster, and gives consumers more control. It's a technological leap with a potential value of almost 30,000 crore rupees. And that really brings us to our final thought. With this incredible level of investment, this massive grid expansion, and a huge rollout of smart technology, the fundamental way that millions of us experience and interact with electricity is on the verge of a major transformation. So the real question is, what will that new future of power actually look like for you and me?